notebooks. While convenient for teachers, this academic style came at a cost literally. Families were forced to purchase new copies every academic year, thereby increasing the economic hardship for the family. Recently, the governments of Imo, Benue, Anambra, and Ondo states moved to address this burden by banning the use of non-transferable textbooks in their schools. The decision has sparked conversations across communities. When Aneke TV spoke with parents and guardians, reactions were mixed. Many expressed relief, welcoming the chance to save money and return to a culture of reusing books. Others, particularly in states yet to adopt the policy, are watching closely, hoping similar changes will soon reach their children's classrooms.
I believe the government meant well for schools by making that policy of non-transferable textbooks to schools. Though it has not gotten down to Enugu State, but I believe in due time our government will review its own as well. It's not bad for me to say that. It's not bad because the curriculum review, I know it comes, I think, 3 years, every 3 or 4 years. If a textbook, if a child or children in a particular family uses the textbook, at the time there will be another curriculum review. If he prompts to change that textbook, we will follow suit. It's a welcome development, and I believe the government meant well.
It's quite discouraging and it's quite disturbing that somebody, your sibling, the book, for instance, the book somebody used, then that the person's sibling, the child's sibling, that is coming to the class the next academic session will not use that book. It's not healthy, it's not the ideal thing. It's exploitative. And wherever such thing is tenable, they should think twice and change it because it's not good.
It's a beautiful and welcome development. In this situation, I think the government meant well for both parents, learners, and schools. So with this, I think that the parents will no longer complain of paying for textbooks, each term pay for textbook and all that. And also the teachers will have a separate book or a separate exercise book for homework and other things. So the writing in the textbook, most times when you give the learners textbooks to do their homework, before the term will run out, in fact, it will not even last for a whole section.
As schools reopen, the ban is already making a difference. Parents in the affected states breathe easier, while those elsewhere continue to push for reform. For many, the bigger hope is not just to cut costs, but to restore an educational tradition where books are handed down, knowledge is shared, and no child is left behind because of financial barriers. Chidimi Kemede, Aneke TV.
Conflict is normal, but violence is not. Disagreements, handled with respect, lead to growth, not destruction. Learn to listen, not just argue. Peaceful resolution is a sign of maturity.
Dedication is doing your best, even when no one is watching. It is the quiet force behind every masterpiece and every breakthrough. With consistency, and focus. You don't just chase excellence, you become it. Stay dedicated, the results will speak.
It was Robert Greene who asserted, "The future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways." The Wise Counsel greatly explores why it is permanent for growing youth to learn and master in-demand skills. There are skills one can engage in to boost independence, employability, self-confidence, and entrepreneurship. Some of them include events decoration, hairstyling, furniture making, painting, tiling, and house decoration. Likewise, some tech skills such as search engine optimization, ethical hacking, web design, and game development. Although learning these skills could be time-consuming, difficult, and unclear, it is advised to keep learning until you become a master of it. Learning a skill is not enough. It requires mastering to compete favorably in the marketplace. When Aneke TV interacted with some residents of Enugu, they said that mastering a good skill was a gateway to financial freedom, economic empowerment, and a nation building.
My name is Tochukwu Ikeme Austin. I'm a stylist. I fix nails. We do pedicure, manicure. We do both locking. You understand? Both piercing, any type of piercing. That's what we do for a living. But instead of being idle, you have to get something doing to support yourself about tomorrow. Yeah, I learned it from my boss. I have a boss. It's not that much, but it's how fast you are. You learn it. And being creative, because call it stylist, you have to be creative. And that's all. I am my living, but not just that much, because you know we have a different motive. Maybe if you be looking for 1 million, then maybe you are getting 200,000. But you have to manage it instead of being idle. Understand? So that's it.
What do you tell Nigerian youths that are idle moving around?
It's nothing. It's just to look for something doing instead of being idle. Understand? It's something that you cannot even learn. Maybe you cannot even be 6 months or 3 months. You can learn it. It's something simple. It's free if you are ready for it. Instead of being idle, you give it a try.
Afambo Abuchi Christopher. If not phone, all from phone, I say, as on from all the phone, I say, when I go no, the end doors, August. I'm not catalan photos, Galwa phone, I'm ewe case ewe ndị na-amụ eye ewe ndị na-amụ 6 months so mụ amụ m eye mụọ ya okwe gasị gị na ọ kacha alụ mana the little one emụtagodu oge nye nwunye ego and ị ga-esi nwunye ya wee na-egbo mkpa gị.
Chimeremma Vivian, Ofo by name, from Enugu State. As you can see, I'm a shoemaker designer by professional. Yes, a lot of gains, at least. Everywhere good, and God has been faithful to it. Depending on the designs, you can get the one of 15, 12, 20, 25, 30,000, depending the one you want. It's not easy, but on the process, once you get it, so you understand what you are doing, it will be easier for you to do. Yes, you have to go through the process now. If you have passion now, I believe if you have passion on something, if you go there, you achieve what you want. Once you are less busy and you are not doing anything, you channel your energy in something else. Skin is good. Handworking is good. At least you earn your own money without being insulted by some major things.
My name is Chemere, known as Papilo of shoes. Well, I don't like discussing about my this, but I can tell you that this work is one of the handmade. How should I put it? Handcrafts work that gives money. Is also good. I didn't work under one boss, like because I started this work in a tender age. Only thing I can drop as something to them is that in life in life, life is not that easy for men to just stay and relax at home or all these things. So it's not that easy. That's one. Secondly, everybody needs to have what he or she is doing.
My name is Ogidi Kenneth. I'm from Enugu State. I'm doing shoemaking in Ogbeteme Market, Enugu. Okay, let's say 14 years now. I have people that I have trained. So I'm still expecting some more people to train. Yeah.
Then like how much can you make in a month, roughly?
Roughly. Let's say approximately in a month, like 100 and something thousand. Because it's everyday work. We amend, we do new ones, we do all kind of work that brings money. As you can see, like Nigeria now, so somebody needs something, hard work.
Good morning and thank you for joining us today on The Insight. Today, we'll be looking at defections. Is Nigeria turning into a one-party state? What is actually becoming of our political parties, oppositions, and this wave of political realignment? We've seen governors, senators, let's say legislators, from the north, from the south, all moving towards the APC. Giving rise to the question, is Nigeria really tilting towards a one-party state? Today is Governor Peter Mba of Enugu State. In the winds is that the governor of Bayelsa State would follow suit with another governor from the north getting set. What is really happening? Would X-ray this issue and give you a post-mortem analysis with the focal point of Southeast today bows out. Southeast bows out. Enugu leaves PDP for APC. And touchlighting on this issue is Comrade Ben Asogwa, Enugu State Chairman of Trade Union Congress of Nigeria, TUC. Comrade Ben, it's a pleasure to see you after a long time.
The pleasure is mine.
All right.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes. So we are looking at this issue. Southeast today bows out. The last man standing, that's Enugu State, leaves PDP. Now, let's look at these issues. This governor's board exit from the PDP, does it signal a future for the Southeast political identity or a departure or lack of political identity in all?
All right. In the first place, let me make it clear that people are beginning to understand that the name political party is just a kind of name. It doesn't really symbolize the attitude of people or even belief. That is where we differ from other parts of the world. Like if you go to the United States of America, if you're a Republican, people will know. If you're a Democrat, they will know. And if you're and your attitude towards leadership is determined by the strata of politics you play. So, but in this part of the world, political party stuff is just a name. It doesn't really change much in people's attitude towards leadership or politicking. So why I said that is that it's true that Enugu will be answering APC in fact, it's now answering APC. Yes. Because I'm sure that the governor has already made the declaration.
Yes.
It's already in the news that Enugu is now APC state. If you go around the Enugu, you can't see the governor with a poster bearing umbrella anymore. You would rather see broom.
Okay.
So, and like the question you asked me, if it portends something else. Now, to me, I can tell you that the only thing that is constant on earth is change. Ordinarily, one wouldn't have believed that a time would come when the whole of Southeast will back off PDP, because the stronghold that PDP had from 1999 till this particular period in time, where that Southeast has now exited completely. Southeast has been their stronghold. It was never an area the PDP contemplated on whether they would win an election or not. But be that as it were, one major thing you have to understand is that a lot of factors determine where the people look at politically. If you look at where it is taking us to, from 1999, it was only the former governor, Ifeanyi Ugwuanyi, that led Enugu as a governor under an opposition party. All the while we've been in the ruling party, which was then PDP. So, and I know quite well that why it doesn't really portend danger for the South is that I don't think we're going to see any worse situation in any other political party than we've even seen in PDP. PDP was not actually reciprocating the level of support that Southeast gave from 1999. Because looking at it critically, the first president that emerged from PDP was Olusegun Obasanjo from Southwest. After him, Yaradua from the North came. And unfortunately, he died while in office. He died in active service. And Jonathan from South-South came in. So when Jonathan finished, or rather, when he was still hoping to go for another tenure, he was now defeated by APC. And it went back to the North. And when Buhari was ending his 2 tenures in office, the office of presidency returned to the South. And people had expected that a political party like PDP should have ordinarily zoned the position to Southeast. Reason being that the Southwest had collected their share. South-South collected. It was only Southeast from the South that had not produced president within the period, or that has not produced, because up to date they have not.
Yes.
And everybody expected that PDP was not going to even contemplate. It would have been a serious chase if PDP had zoned the position to Southeast. Not a matter of because we are from Southeast, but out of sincerity of purpose and fairness. People expected that equity to be made manifest by PDP zoning that position to Southeast. It never came. And that was even what led to Peter Obi's exit from PDP. To if PDP had zoned the presidential position to Southeast, I don't think Peter Obi would have found himself in Labour Party. It was that alone that created that. Even as Yaradua was going, Buhari was going out, Atiku Abubakar didn't deem it necessary to say, okay, it is the turn of the South, let me not contest. You see, the level of selfishness among politicians is becoming so obvious that you see a situation where people will believe that it's either me or nobody. It's not that way. It's not as if it doesn't exist in APCO. It's in fact because they are all the same group of people with the same mindset. But at least the one in PDP was so obvious that Atiku Abubakar from the North again grabbed it, assuming it happened the way PDP planned it. So the North would have continued with that position after 8 years. That would have amounted to maybe 16 unbroken years. So that was when the Southeast began to realize seriously that their interest is not actually protected in PDP. From that moment, you know, initially, the Southeast was not seeing APC as a party that they should even look at. It was the level of neglect and marginalization from PDP that made the Southeast to begin to consider the option of leaving PDP. Initially, if a governor is leaving PDP for any other political party like APC, you see people frowning and believing that he's on his own. But today I can tell you for sure that if you interview many stakeholders in Enugu, they will tell you that the governor took the right step. Because they've seen it, it's too obvious. It's not just palpable, but physically obvious that the Southeast doesn't seem to have any future with PDP. I'm sorry to say that. I'm not a practicing politician, but a labor leader, but I can tell you that being a Nigerian or being a Southeasterner, I'm sure that the way they are going, it doesn't seem to. And to make things worse, when Atiku now finished his own turn of destroying PDP or showcasing selfishness, Wike came up with his own. To the extent that Enugu that has been, okay, as Wike was doing his own, Enugu was the only remaining state in PDP in the Southeast. And when you are now bringing the position of secretary, of the national secretary of the party to the Southeast, you didn't give the only governor standing from the Southeast the opportunity to at least make a contribution. You felt because you are too powerful, you can do it on your own. So for me, I believe practically that what is happening is not unexpected. What is not unexpected is that if you are in a house and you are not wanted in that house, the next thing you do is to leave. Yes. So I can say for sure that we may not know the future, but there is no level of marginalization that you will see in APC that will be worse than what has already been seen in PDP.
Okay. All right, comrade, we brought you here for your honest opinion. We never expected that you speak as a politician because we know you're not one. But from all that's been said, is it safe to say that PDP failed the Southeast and Enugu State?
Very, very fair and very, very clear. There are so many points to buttress that. It won't be a political statement nor an exaggeration for one to say that Southeast was not treated well by PDP. PDP did not reciprocate the level of support that Southeast has all this while given to the party. So, because if you look at the situation, just like what I narrated, everybody that, in fact, you remember that before the 2023 election, PDP set up a committee on the issue of zoning of the presidency. And when it got to a point where Atiku Abubakar began to discover that if this thing is zoned to the south, he would be completely disqualified from contesting, they made sure that they spoiled that show and said everybody has the right to contest. Even the Wike that hails from the same zone where the immediate past president from the party came from, that is Jonathan, still had to jump into the ring, struggling to become the president again. And when all those things ended and Atiku Abubakar emerged, he didn't even see the Southeast as the right people to pick for the position of vice president. That was not in his mind. So if Atiku will continue deceiving us to say, when I finish, you know why I'm talking this way? Ordinarily, people would expect me to just talk on labor matters. In fact, before becoming a labor leader,
you're a Nigerian.
Before becoming a labor leader, I became an indigenous of Enugu State. I became a Southeasterner.
Sure.
And even when I finish as a labor leader, I would live and die an Igbo man.
Yes.
And a Nigerian.
And this is why we brought you here.
And so, if I'm talking, I prefer even to speak as a Nigerian, as an Enugu person, as an Igbo man I am, because sometimes when you mention portfolio, it limits you. It makes you feel like you can't talk on this. Why shouldn't I talk? So, but the truth there is that what the governor did today is long expected. Okay. Because the way things are going, the way the PDP is going already, we've seen that come 2027, Wike would want to grab PDP. Atiku has already provided an alternative at one other side that if PDP did not work for him, he will go and grab ADC. What about the Southeast?
Okay. Now that you're talking about it, comrade, now let's, in your opinion, let's see or look at the factors that drove the governor and his team to abandon the PDP after years of loyalty to the APC. Can we highlight on those issues? You've mentioned Wike You've mentioned Atiku. What other factors?
You remember the issue of Udo Okoye and Sam Wanyang concerning the position of National Secretary of the party. You see, one thing people have to understand is that no matter how selfish you are, you should be selfless enough to know when you've collected your share and when some other person should have even a chunk of something, even a little, a speckle of whatever you have together. But when you want to collect everything, it becomes pitiable. Somebody like Yeso Wike is from the South, and the secretary was to emerge from the Southeast. And you still had to come from your own zone to the Southeast to determine who becomes the secretary. And when the only governor from the Southeast in PDP said it should be this person, mind you that they were not fighting for the national chairmanship, just secretary. In ranking, you have the national chairman of the party, even the vice chairman by ranking is higher than secretary. Though administratively, the secretary may be more strategic. But at that point, Wike still decided who should be the secretary. And when the governor said, if you didn't do this, I will take my leave, they didn't mind him. And I've come to realize something about Peter Mba. Most of his statements, in fact, his statements are never political. In the sense that when he talks about anything, he is mean about it. So, and that is him. So they should have understood that for him to have said that, he will make do that threat if they saw it as a threat. And they should have also respected his opinion as a person. There was no regard to that, and it wasn't just a personal opinion. It was the mindset of Enugu PDP members that this should be. And if I were Wike, no matter the kind of interest I want to protect, I should also be fair enough to protect the house. Though I don't even see Wike as protecting the PDP as a house. Otherwise, he wouldn't have done what he did. So the major issue, the last straw that broke Kame's neck was the issue of PDP national leadership.
Okay.
Which sealed the fate of PDP in the Southeast.
Okay. I want to abandon the course of question I wanted to ask next. Let's look a bit at the Wike factor. Don't you think that what is happening today was the ultimate aim for Wike?
Of course, the way he's going, his actions and inactions in the opposition party, PDP, the major opposition party, is very clear. He seems to be working for a particular master that is his master.
Okay.
So that one is very clear.
So we can give today as a victory for Wike?
Yes, as far as Wike is concerned, he has not lost out.
Okay.
He's still on track.
Okay.
Because he's somewhere working for the same master.
Perhaps we'll see him welcoming Peter Mba with a